to my channel. So I was just sitting here working on homework. I don't have my kids with me, and I was like, wow, it's so quiet. And then I was like, oh my god, it's so quiet, I should record a video. So I'm gonna record a video. I'm gonna be recording a mom tag that I've been wanting to do, just so you guys can get to know me a little bit more. I have like these questions. I don't remember where I got the questions from, but I'm gonna answer them, and let me know if you guys have other questions, I guess, as we go through that. Leave them in the comment. But before we get too far into the video, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe so you guys can just come along with me on this journey. And don't forget to click that bell so you guys can get notified every time I make a video or possibly go live. Okay, so the very first question: how old were you when you first became a mom? So I was 19 when I found out I was pregnant with my first daughter. I was 23 when I had my son, and I was 27 when I had my second daughter. It definitely wasn't planned, but it's just funny how life works. And my whole life I really wanted to have kids at 21 for some reason. I don't know why. And when I was 19, nearing my 20th birthday, I was like, wait, that's really soon. I don't want kids yet. I'm not ready yet. And then like a month, 2 months later, I found out I was pregnant. So just be careful what you wish for, because it's crazy how it worked out that way. But I would not have changed. I wouldn't change anything. Okay, what was the hardest thing about being pregnant for 9 months? Okay. With my first daughter, I would say, obviously I was young. 19 is pretty young. I was a college student, and yeah, just that alone was hard. And staying like motivated for school, not dropping out, because that was like, could have been so easy, but it honestly never crossed my mind, because I just knew I had to, and if I took a break, I would never go back. And then with my son, probably like not eating sushi. I don't know why, but that was really hard for me with him. With my first daughter, I didn't like sushi before I had her. It was like something I started liking after I had her. So I never had that struggle. But then with Elijah, my son, I was craving it. And I think it was like right after I had him, I was like, I need sushi. So I finally had some sushi. Those are some random reasons what was really hard. But that's just, you guys are going to get to know me. You see, I'm freaking weird. Okay. Can you think of any good things you enjoyed during those 9 months? For sure. There's so many good things. I love being pregnant. Like me, Arlene, pregnant is my favorite Arlene. Like I just love being pregnant. I've had pretty smooth pregnancies, so that's the main reason. But like my favorite thing or the best thing about those 9 months is really just having the babies all to myself and not having to share. Feeling the babies move and kick, and as much as it like hurts towards the end, like that feeling is so amazing. There's no way to describe it, and it's just crazy. I'm not trying to cry right now, so let's move on. Question number 4. In your opinion, were all the things you heard about childbirth accurate or way off? They were pretty accurate. Contractions hurt, but for me, they were more, well, I should state, I got an epidural with each of my each labor. I had 2 natural, I don't like using that word because I feel like everything is natural, but I had 2 natural way. I'm not going to say the V word because I don't know if I'm allowed to. And my third, I had to end up getting an emergency C-section. My first was pretty traumatic. I had to get induced after my water broke. I had to get induced though because I wasn't having consistent contractions, and it was a really long process. And then I had some pretty bad like hemorrhaging. I had to get blood transfusions. It was a lot. My son's birth was really smooth. It was the best experience, and if they were all like that, I would have babies until the day I die. until I couldn't anymore. And then with my third, my baby's heart rate was dropping, and they were monitoring it, and they were like, okay, we're gonna monitor it for 30 minutes, and that 30 minutes turned into 10 minutes, and then it was like, okay, you have to have an emergency C-section. So that was a pretty scary experience. I was wheeled into that room before I could like mentally prepare, and I really thought I was gonna die. I was so scared, but I was in good hands, and they took care of me, and my husband was right there, and I have my baby girl now, and it went smooth. So, question number 5. Would you have handled childbirth differently if you could redo it? Well, I would probably do things a little differently the first time around. I would know that it's not going to be a really quick process, and I would try and rest more. I didn't want to take a nap because I thought I was going to miss something for some odd reason, like you can just sleep through birth. But I also was like really tense during that labor, and kind of prevented myself from progressing as far as like dilating and things like that. So I would have calmed down, relaxed, taken a longer nap. I eventually took a nap, an hour nap, and then I woke up because in that 1 hour my body was finally able to progress so much quicker than it did in like 24 hours. So definitely I would do that differently. What would be your advice for someone who is about to have a baby? Don't be so hard on yourself. Take it easy. Don't be so worried about being a good mom or being worried about this and that, because just the fact that you're worried about those things proves that you're going to be a good mom, and you are a good mom. And there's going to be a ton of advice out there, similar to this advice that I'm giving now, but don't feel like you need to listen to everyone, because everyone is different, every baby is different, and what works for one person may not work for you, and what works for you may not be something that someone else would want to even try. Like, you just have to find out what works for you and what works for your baby, and then it could be different for each of your kids. So just because something worked for my daughter doesn't mean it worked for my son, doesn't mean it wouldn't work for my third. Okay, question number 7. What has been the hardest thing about being a mom? I think it was just like juggling life. As I was 20 by the time I had my daughter, and then I turned like 21, like I think she was like 6 months when I turned 21, and I think it was just like juggling everything at that time, and a lot of things in my life did change at that time. I moved in with my in-laws and my now husband, so I like left my family. I lived pretty far from them. Everything, my mom cooked literally every day for me, and we're Middle Eastern, so I had like good home cooked meals every day. And then when I moved, not that my in-laws don't have good home cooked meals, but it was just a different family dynamic, and everything about my life changed. And then I had a baby, and it changed even more. So that was really the hardest thing the first time around. The second and third times around, I would say just like making sure that each child has enough time with me. Like, I sometimes feel like I'm spread pretty thin, like just trying to give each kid time with me and attention and love, and not like, right now my daughter is 1, she's gonna be 2, so she's getting older. Like, it's crazy how fast it's going, but in the very beginning, like, I was nursing her around the clock, and the older kids knew that I was going to be doing that mommy was going to be really busy, that they may need to ask each other for help for certain things, and daddy, obviously. And another thing that's pretty hard, seeing your kids sick, that's hard for me. My daughter, my oldest daughter, didn't really get sick much. My son got sick a lot, and I think it was because he was born right after we enrolled my oldest in daycare, and then she obviously was just bringing germs home. And my third, she had to be in the NICU for about a week, and that was crazy hard on me. I have never, out of my 3 labors, I have never left the hospital without my baby, and I was bawling my eyes out. My baby had to go to NICU. She was worst case scenario, they were gonna have to do an entire not transfusion. It was almost like a swap. Her blood, let me just say it this way. They would have had to drain all of her blood and give her completely all new like donor blood. That was worst case scenario, but thank God she didn't have to do that. They gave her some medicine. They put her under the Billy lights because she had bad jaundice, and a lot of IVs and a lot of cords and a lot of things and a lot of blood drawings. And my poor baby, she's so strong. She's so strong that after about a week, she was finally able to come home, followed up by a lot of doctor appointments, and that was really hard. So just anything when it comes to your kids and like them being sick or them being in a hospital and honestly you're helpless is so hard. And it's probably the hardest thing about being a mom is just that feeling of being helpless when your babies are crying and don't feel good or something is wrong and you know it, but you can't do anything about it. Okay, that was a hard one. Question number 8, what has been the most rewarding thing about being a mom? I love seeing how like loving my kids are. My son is like really crazy, but he's so loving. Just today I found him like sneak a hug and a kiss to his baby sister, and then he looked to see if I was watching, and it was just like, oh, that was so cute. But he hides that like really loving side to himself. But just like how loving my kids are really is just so rewarding, and they're very forgiving. They don't hold grudges, and that's just like, kids are so innocent and so sweet. And yeah, they get mad and they fight with each other and they get mad at me for saying, hey, you need to do your homework. Like, I'm the bad guy. But they're just so forgiving. And even like if I have a bad day and I'm like, if I yell at them or if I'm just like, you know, in a funk, later on I'll be like, gosh, I was so rude. And then I go and I'm like, I'm sorry, mommy's having a rough day. I'm like, it's okay, mom, it's okay, can we help? Or they say like the cutest things and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I don't deserve you guys are the sweetest things. What was the most surprising thing you discovered about being a mom? The most surprising? Probably the fact that my entire like identity changed at like a meeting at work. I stand up and say, introduce yourself and something cool about you, and my go-to is, hi, I'm Arlene and I have 3 kids. And that's me now, and everything revolves around them. Like I don't think I've ever had a conversation where I'm not like, yeah, my kids, I have kids and I'm a mom, or like something along those lines. Like, and it's also like to a point where I'm learning that I used to have like a lot of hobbies that I just don't have the time anymore. Like right now I'm in school, so I'm a little stressed out with that. But I'm really looking forward to the day that I'm done with school and I can like pick back up on some of my hobbies and like find myself again, whoever it may be. Like I've had my daughter at 20 and I'm turning 30, and that's 10 years where I've kind of, I don't want to say lost myself, but I became someone new. And now I kind of want to get to know this new me that I will be. I don't know. You know what I mean? I hope you know what I mean. Anyways, question number 10. What is the best memory you have involving your child or children? So when my youngest had to be in the NICU, my kids were at the hospital with my in-laws, but because of her going straight to the NICU, family couldn't see her, her siblings couldn't even see her. So it wasn't until like 4 or 5 days later where we had gone home. Me and my husband had left. Yeah, we left after 5 days because that was like the max that my insurance let me stay at the hospital. So I stayed there for as long as I could because the hospital's about an hour from my house. And the next day we were like, oh, let's take the kids, and we're obviously going to go back. We literally went back every day we could until we were able to bring her home. And she got to meet her siblings. My daughter and my son got to meet their baby sister, and that was the cutest, sweetest thing ever. They were like in love, instantly in love with her, and they were so sweet and so gentle, so good with her, and that was just a really great memory. And another really good memory is like my older daughter and son being at my wedding. Me and my husband got married on our 8-year anniversary. We didn't really have a wedding or a ceremony. We went to the courthouse. We got married outside in like a very pretty area close to the water at the beach. And afterwards we went to my favorite restaurant in the San Diego area, and it was just our parents, our siblings, and our kids, and that was such a great memory. Like, I know a lot of people think that there's like a specific order to how you're supposed to do things in life. You're supposed to go to school, then you meet someone or whatever, and you get married, and you buy a house, and then you start having children. And I basically did everything in opposite order. I met my husband, we were in high school. We started dating. We had our first daughter about 4 or 5 years after of being together. And then we had another kid, and then we got married, and then we finished school, our bachelor's degrees, and then we bought a house, and then my husband finished his master's, and now I'm finishing my master's. But it's just like, you don't have to follow these rules. There's no set way to live life. Like, whatever makes you happy, just do it. And I'm so happy with the way I did it, and I wouldn't change a single thing about it. Like, I'm so happy. Question number 11. What was the most exciting milestone? Oh, okay, so I love the baby babbling, but even more than the babbling and the cooing, I love when they say mama. What's better than hearing your baby say mama? That's so cute. And walking is always so fun, but I learned to be patient and not be super impatient, because with my daughter I was like, oh, I can't wait, and then all of a sudden she was running, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so hard. First she was just on her belly and she couldn't really move, and then she started crawling, and then she was just fully mobile, and I was like, oh, this is hard. So the second and third time around I learned like not to rush it, but that is such a fun milestone. And then them getting to just explore, like, like we go out, they're able to actually like walk and like lead me where they want to go. That's super fun, and it's so cute to see them like explore the world. What is the worst thing your child has ever done? The worst thing your child has ever done? Ooh, this sounds scary. Well, there's one thing, and it has stuck with me for a long time, but my daughter I think she was 2, and I said something to her. I don't remember what I said to her, but she told me, shut up. And I was like, what? Shut up. And I just like broke down crying. I was like, what the heck? Who taught her to tell me to shut up? Okay, let's see. What habit do you wish your child didn't have? My children have picked up my really bad habit of nail biting. I've been doing pretty good, but it's already too late. Like, they've already picked it up, and both my oldest daughter and my son bite their nails pretty bad, and I am fully to blame for that one. What habit of theirs makes you most proud? What habit? Not so much a habit, but they're like very creative and like, I don't know, smart. That's a habit, right? They're so smart to the point where I'm like, you're a pain in my butt. Do you share any similarities with your children? Either physical or like personality. Mila is her name. Mila is super creative and like crafty and artistic. She's all about like saving things to repurpose it, and that was exactly how I was. And she's a really great artist. She draws amazing, and she creates these things, and I'm just like, wow, she's impressive. Okay, next question. Where would you like your child to be in 10 years? Okay. Mila will be 19 in 10 years. So I hope she's in like some sort of school or like learning some sort of trade or something that she can do as a future career. And Elijah will be wrapping up high school at that time. I hope. That's where I hope to see him. And I just hope that they're both happy and successful. And next question, what is something that having a child has taught you? This is a good one. Patience. Even though I don't have much of it, they've taught me some patience and just to like let things go, and that is like a daily struggle for me. I'm still learning how to do that. And just today my husband's like, just let it go, let them be kids. And sometimes I'm just like very don't do that, helicopter mom. So I'm learning to be a little bit better there, but they have taught me some patience. They have, just a little. Need a lot more of it, but they have. Did you imagine that you'd be a mom at the age you became a mom? So I guess I touched on this a little bit. Like I said, I always wished to have kids when I ended up having kids. I didn't really imagine it, but I'm so glad that I got what I wanted my whole life. I literally was like, I want to have kids for the oddest reasons. Like I was like, I want to have kids when I'm 21 so that when my kid is graduating high school and they're 18, I'll still be in my 30s. Like what the heck? Why would you wish that upon yourself? Well, I got exactly what I wished for. And let's see, like, yeah, life was interesting. I turned 21 when my baby girl was 6 months. I did go to Vegas, but I really didn't, like everyone in high school had that like clubbing phase. I really didn't go through that because obviously I had a kid, so I wasn't about that going out type of life. I got a little taste of it. Me and my husband started going out a little bit more when we were in like 23, 24 age. Maybe it was a little older. I think it was like 24 or 25. We started going out. I started going to karaoke. That was super fun. But then I kind of was like, okay, I'm like an introvert. So anytime I'm social or anything, I need to like recoup. And it became a lot for me. I remember like, I was like, oh my gosh, we go out every week. Every week we're going out. And as fun as it was, I was just like, this is not me. I'm a homebody. That's what it is. I like to be home. So I got way off topic there, but okay, next one. Describe your child. Oh, this is the second to last question. Okay, describe your child in a single word. Mila is creative. I like that word for her. She's really creative. She has such a good imagination, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say more because it's a single word. So creative. Elijah. Energy. He's full of energy. He's crazy. Never runs out of energy. So, and Luna is, Luna's outgoing. Everywhere we go, which hasn't been very many places lately, but like we'll go outside and a neighbor will walk by and she's like, hi, 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 until someone responds. She's like, hi, hi, hi. She's so friendly, so outgoing. So I think, yeah, that's my one word for Luna. She's outgoing. She's so sweet, so cute. Okay, last question. How have you changed as a person since becoming a mom? Oh, okay. I want to say, I don't think I was selfish. I was the baby of the family. It was my parents, me, and my older sister. I only had to worry about myself. I think of everyone else before I think of myself now. So it may be a little overboard because then I'm like not taking care of myself the way I should be. But I feel like now I put everyone else before me, and that's just I feel like that's my job as being a mom, is like taking care of the family and taking care of the kids and worrying about myself later. But I am learning now that it's like, how am I gonna take care of those kids if I don't take care of myself? So I'm learning the hard way that it's super important to take care of myself. Self-care, 2021, self-care all the way. That's all I'm doing. Well, obviously after I'm done with school and everything else, but I'm learning to put myself first sometimes. That was it. That was all the questions. So if I didn't answer a question, or if you thought of other questions, or you want to know more about something, leave your questions in the comments section below, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm gonna be filming more videos. Don't worry. I know I've been lagging, but they're coming. More coming. So please like and then comment and maybe even share this video and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell button so you can get notified every time I make a post or possibly go live. Okay.